Auburn makes a quarterback change that we saw some improvement in the second half, but Hugh Freeze not ready to commit to Ashton against Kentucky.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Montgomery radio legend Darrell Dapprich, the GOAT, hanging out with us as Auburn takes down Arkansas 33-24. Darrell, we've had a little bit of time to let this win settle in a little bit and think about it. And the more I think about this game, the more I want to talk about just how incredible this defense was, and we'll get to that. But there's also this spark on the offensive side of the ball with a quarterback change that we've kind of been asking for a few weeks. And I think there was overall improvement for sure. I don't think it's as drastic as some people are acting like it is, but I would give that it is a little bit better as far as maybe the floor and possibly the ceiling, what Ashton can do. But right after the game, Hugh Freeze said that he's not ready to commit to Ashton or to comment on a starter. He wants to watch the tape. And I'm a little surprised by that answer.
I'm not. I don't think there's any reason why you would try to. It's just gamesmanship. You don't want Stoops knowing who's going to play quarterback next Saturday. And I know what you're saying because we talked about it before we hit record. They're the same dude with the same tendencies, running the same offense. I think I agree with you on that. I just do think there are certain variables and certain attributes that are a little bit different. For instance, I think Ashton runs a more quarterback power game. So, if you're inside the 5-yard line, inside the 7-yard line, you run quarterback draw or quarterback keep, you might defend that differently if you think Jackson Arnold's in there instead of Ashton.
You don't think he'll name a starter on Monday, whether it's at his presser or Monday night at Tiger Talk? You don't think he'll name one?
I have stopped trying to figure out what Hugh Freeze is going to do after New Mexico State. I mean, I'm just being honest. I wish there was tendencies and trends that I could get. Like for instance, if you ran it for 8 yards a carry 8 times in a row, why do you throw an out at the 6-yard line? I wouldn't think that Hugh Freeze would do that, but yet he did. So I can't even fathom or imagine trying to get in this man's mind right now and guess what he's going to do because it makes no sense. There's no rhyme or reason. And I think, you make an excellent point about nobody is happier or wanted Ashton Daniels to succeed more than me. I'm glad to see that. But the leap isn't that significant. I think what he did in the second half, he put 16 points on the board. Jackson put 10 on the board. He was just more efficient and more of a game manager. And with the defense playing the way it was and with the field conditions the way they were, that's what Auburn needed to win. I don't know how you feel, and I'm just going to throw this out there to you. I love putting you on the spot. Okay. Do you think Auburn wins that game if Jackson Arnold plays the second half?
No.
Either do I. So I think it was enough of a difference to win. And even if it is a game manager, look, he ran the ball, for 5 yards a carry. He threw it efficiently when he had to throw it. He was money on that 2-point conversion where he trucked somebody at the 1. So the way Auburn's special teams and defense played today, that's what they needed.
Do you think the play calling, I think we both agree the play calling wasn't great at any point of it, except for when they ran 8 plays in a row before they called the pass or the RPO where Jackson threw the pick 6. But do you think the play calling for Ashton was better just because it appeared to be more simple?
I saw it and I immediately thought of you. Because anybody that watched the everydayers, as you call them, knows that a couple times your biggest beef or issue with changing quarterbacks is you felt like the play calling was going to change, right?
Yeah, right.
And I think it did. But I also
and I want to be clear, I'm not anti-Ashton. I'm not pro Jackson. I'm pro Auburn. I want the best for Auburn. But I do.
I think it's because I think it's that even though they are very similar, there are still things about them that are different. So you would call plays tailored to that. Like I said, if remember Auburn called 2 or 3 straight quarterback runs,
right?
Like quarterback sweeps or whatever they were. And I don't think you call those with Jackson Arnold. I think that the power running game, like I said, the quarterback powers there more. I love the perimeter potential of Ashton Daniels, especially if he pulls it with the way Cobb and Mapson were running. So you're right, though. I saw that and I was like, dang, Zac was prophetic on that. They're calling plays a little bit differently, but whatever it takes, if he's different, if he's got a little different tangibles or tool belt, I think you need to.
Yeah, I wish, and like we won, and like I'm not one of those people that like, wants to downplay a win or anything. Like I'm super stoked that Auburn won.
There's a lot of them out there that just really,
I'm so happy that Auburn won. I would feel better about the win if the offense has scored a touchdown in the second half.
Yeah. It's
and field goals matter, and it's a team game, and the defense was unbelievable closing that out. Whether it was Pleasant, Atkins, whoever, it was awesome. But it does feel a little bit better if they go out and they finish one of those drives with a touchdown. I think we feel totally different about all of this.
2 things can be true at once, my friend. You could feel happy about the win, but say, I feel better about it, and Auburn's offense is still struggling. And I made this tweet last night, and I stand by it. Sometimes you win in spite of someone instead of because of someone. And I think that Auburn won in spite of their offense and in spite of their play calling. And Cobb and the defense and special teams. But I also, for the Auburn fans that want to, spin on that, there's more to the football team than just your offense. I mean, if you've got 2 or 3 things firing on all cylinders, take the win, be happy about it, and move on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And, I mean, there are so many Auburn fans that are like, oh, now Hugh Freeze saved his job. I'm like, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. Now, if he beats Kentucky and beats Vandy, then I think we have a conversation. I'm still not entirely sold, but I do think you have the conversation then where it's like, oh, can you fire him now so he beats Mercer? Like, can you fire him at 7-5 or 8-4 if you beat Bama? Then obviously I think he's safe. But the win on Saturday did not save his job.
No,
let's be very clear on that.
The play call right before the half when Auburn was going down the field to go up 17-14 was just gashing them. And the play call is a pass to a boundary when it's a wet field and the receiver can't get out of his break effectively, in my opinion, was a microcosm of Hugh Freeze's career as head coach at Auburn.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of the red zone passing when Jackson was in was bad, and not necessarily bad by design, but that he's going to be a step late on everything. You just know it. Like I think it was 3rd down. It was an outbreaking route to Perry where like Perry could have caught it, but it would have been ridiculous if he caught it. And but if Jackson throws out on time, it just gets the ball out.
Did you see the difference on the out pattern that was thrown by Ashton Daniels to Perry Thompson?
Yes.
Exact same play, exact same route. Difference. And he got rid of the ball 2 seconds.
Especially on that play where the read is simple, like, hey, I'm either throwing to this guy or I'm not.
Right.
So yeah, like I think that is the difference there. Now, did it turn into like a tremendous amount of production for Ashton in the second half? No, but thankfully, Jeremiah Cobb and the defense was able to help him out. And I also think I said this a lot on the live reaction show yesterday, Darrell. The offense, like I know reports came out that Ashton ran more stuff with the ones just, to make sure he was prepared. But the game plan wasn't made for Ashton. It was made for Jackson. And so we'll see, when they decide this. My biggest fear is they split the reps again, is my biggest fear between Jackson and Ashton. That seems like a very Hugh Freeze thing to do at this point. But I would love for them to say, hey, Ashton, you are the guy. And instead of you watch us build a game plan around Jackson, we're going to build the game plan around you. And that would be nice.
I don't know how
I'm not super confident that they'll do that, Darrell. And I got a feeling you're not going to push back on me a bunch with that. But that's something that I'm concerned with.
Yeah, real quick. I don't know how you replace somebody that led you to a come from behind victory. I don't care how it happened. I don't care if it took what did he? Auburn had 4 field goals in the second half, maybe 5. No, 5 field goals in the second half. I don't care how you did it. The fact is, it happened. Remember when we did the Barncast live yesterday at halftime, and I said if Ashton Daniels comes out and leads them to points here to start the second half, it may lift the defense a little bit as far as providing a spark, and they may play better. Yeah. I mean, Zach, that happened. The defense, once Auburn was in it, it seemed like they got second life because they were getting gashed a little bit in the first half on big chunk passing plays.
Right. Yeah, no, the defense stepped up for sure. Because it did kind of seem like at a point where like, okay, this mismatch, this matchup that we did not like throughout the week is starting to show up a little bit with big play after big play after big play. And whatever that spark was, we assume it was Ashton. Certainly appears that it was Ashton. The whole team felt it 100%. Yep. So what does this look like moving forward? We've already touched on a little bit of it, but let's go a little bit deeper. That's next right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Can you imagine needing a ticket for something, Darrell, and not going to our friends at Game Time?
Bought some for the family for the Kentucky game. Let's go.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there's some really great deals and some good sections, some special sections, lower level. Had to buy multiple tickets, and I said, boom, made it simple.
Easy. Yeah, I've been looking. I want to go to a few Atlanta Hawks games this year, so I've kind of been looking and through the Game Time app to do
it's
that.
It's not bad enough watching Auburn's offense. You want to watch the Hawks too?
I think they actually have a pretty exciting roster, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
I'm being honest with you. Take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Kia Autosport of Columbus. Summer is obviously over, but that doesn't mean that you can't save a ton of money on a new Kia over with our friends at Kia Autosport Columbus. If you're in the Auburn Opelika area, if you're in the Atlanta area, just take the quick drive over to Kia Autosport of Columbus. They will take care of you. All you have to do, Darrell, is say, hey, I heard about you guys on Locked on Auburn. You're saving $500.
You know, the biggest thing about that you've talked about before, what do you think that I think is the most special thing about this deal that is just unbelievable that Kia gives you? You want to take a guess?
So the tires?
The tires. I mean, think of the lifetime savings of that.
Yeah, and just like the stress of it. Like,
yes.
Like in the back of your mind, like, okay, next year, like that's not a small purchase, and it always seems to hit you when you're not ready for it. It'd be nice to not have to worry about it for sure. So head over to KiaAutosportColumbus.com or go check them out in person, in store, just off of Whittlesey Boulevard in Columbus, Georgia. Thank you so much for making Locked on Auburn your first listen every single day. The Tigers take down the Arkansas Razorbacks 33-24. There's definitely good from this game, but like there is some concerns of like, even when Hugh Freeze knows he's coaching for his job, he still just can't help himself. And like, that's never going to go away, regardless of how the season works out, regardless of how it ends, if Hugh Freeze is here or not. Obviously, it's a bigger concern if he's here and that doesn't change. But that's something we're going to have to think about. Auburn could be churning out 7-8 yards a rush, and he's just not going to care. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen when it comes to coaching, Darrell.
It is so much defined to me as overcoaching at times, overthinking, and not being able to get out of your own way, being your own worst enemy. You can throw cliche after cliche after cliche. Sometimes, Zach, the simplest solution and the most obvious thing is the best thing. Quit overthinking it. If you are gashing somebody and you've run it for 8 times in a row for 70 yards, don't go, you know what? I think they're going to think I'm going to run it again. I'm going to fool them and not run it.
They know you're running it.
They know you're running it. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. They're still not stopping it. Don't get cute and overthink yourself and think, oh, well, they know what I'm about to do. I'm going to change it up. when the running game is working effectively and the offensive line is playing as a cohesive unit and they're eating and they're feeling it, Gus has proven when he was at Auburn, it doesn't matter. Right. If it's effective and you're helmet on helmet and you're doing what you're supposed to do, I'm just a little bit more simple that I subscribe to the theory, do it until they stop it. Then change it up. Don't get cute. I mean, I was watching the game yesterday. Auburn was gouging them, and I'm like, I was watching with my brother-in-law. I'm like, here comes the fade to Cam Coleman. And it worked. It was a touchdown.
Sure.
But you knew it was coming. I mean, you could just see it. So,
if it's first and goal from the 8 or 9, it's a pass.
But that's the biggest problem I have is I get trying to get in the lab and tinker when things aren't working and trying to be this dynamic play caller and keep the defense off balance. When it's working, the KISS theory, right? Keep it simple, stupid. Just go with it.
Yeah. So many people are like, oh, but you guys talked all summer about how you wanted us to throw the football more with this passing attack. Like, yeah, that was the plan.
I did. I'd like more hair too. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to have a full head of hair. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. I mean, you have to live with your limitations and reality. And if you are effective and your strengths are running the football, don't have an ego. I get it. There's this school of thought, Zach, that you've got Singleton and Simmons and Coleman and Fields and all these guys and Perry Thompson. How are you going to keep them happy? I guarantee you those guys in the locker room last night singing War Eagle after they won felt better about that game than if they would have had a bunch of catches and Auburn would have lost.
That's right. That's right. And they all had their moments, right? Like Singleton had his big catch. Obviously, Cam got his one of the better catches of the season. And Cobb, I can't believe they gave it to Jeremiah Cobb 28 times.
That is exactly what needed to happen.
It's
to
too
win
much.
The game. You say it's too much.
I mean, you can't do
that.
They
haven't done that.
Right?
They don't do that consistently like they did with Carry On, right? I mean,
sure.
This is a one-off. I think that next week against Kentucky, they're not going to have to. And again, I'm going to say this: I thought Mapson ran the ball really well when he was in there.
And a lot of it happened kind of early. I feel like where he got 3 touches, and then that was. I'm like, where is it? Where did it go?
Give him 8 to 9 and let Cobb run it about 20 times against Kentucky, and I think
that's the ratio.
Okay. Yep.
That's the ratio to me.
Yep.
20 and 10 is totally okay.
Yep.
Now,
and Daniels will run it too if he plays.
The number of running back touches might go down because of Ashton if he starts. There's no way he doesn't start, right?
I will be. Yeah, don't. How do you do that? It's just gamesmanship. He doesn't want.
Dude, how many times have we said that about him? And then he's like, oh, no, he's telling the truth.
No, I don't think. I would be absolutely shocked.
Oh, my gosh, that would be
awful. He didn't start. And hopefully, like you said, the key part of this component, it doesn't need to be glazed over, is he needs to get a majority of the snaps in practice. Yeah. Let him get the work.
I mean, let's talk about guys that we deserve to be talked about. Xavier Atkins is unbelievable.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you know what? When I was looking back on this team and we talked about the talent of this roster, Zach, there could be 6, 7 guys that go in the first couple rounds of the NFL
6, 7?
draft. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even realize that, but there you go. Yeah, there could be that go in the NFL draft, and what an indictment that would be if Auburn only wins 6 or 7 games.
What's the most likely record at the end of the year now? Is it 6-6?
7-5.
Beating Vandy?
Yeah, I think Auburn.
You think Auburn wins out of the Iron Bowl?
Wins out until the Iron Bowl. I think they have a really good chance. I really do. Yeah, I think this team has taken on a different persona and a different mindset. I think the disaster. I'm gonna say this: somebody in our live chat at the Barncast yesterday had a very underrated point. He said, "Look at the bright side of this. This will force Hugh to go to Daniels."
Maybe.
With that disaster.
I hope you're right.
When he beats Kentucky, if he beats Kentucky Saturday night and looks efficient doing it, then you roll with him back on the road. The one thing about this kid, Stanford, smart, intelligent, 2-year starter. He doesn't get wrapped. He looks very composed.
Yeah,
he really does. He has got a little bit of this composure factor that even when he rolled wrong and rolled right into an oncoming defensive lineman, he got away from it and threw a dart to Simmons that he really should have caught in the end zone. Now, he should have hit Simmons earlier on that play and it would have been a touchdown. But he has a little bit more composure and a little bit more about him, and I think that the team could feed off that.
Yeah. I mean, once again, I think the conversation about Ashton now becomes like, you don't have to be great.
Just
you have to be solid.
Yep.
And Jackson hasn't even been able to be solid.
He started more games at quarterback in a Power 4 than Jackson Arnold has.
No, we get it. You love him. I get it.
Oh, I'm just
Pleasant was unbelievable.
Yes.
I mean, Kinsley Falston
walked in, played really, really well too. He went a little bit unnoticed, but he played really well. Of course, Atkins, what can you say about him? Dynamic as can be. I'm so happy
for the stat sheet, but like Bobby Jamison Travis. Like,
that stop he made in the first drive was huge.
Yep. And then Alex McPherson bouncing back was clutch. We needed that. He needed that. That's awesome. So, I mean, several individual performances that you got to feel pretty good about. So, we'll see what it looks like moving forward. Darrell, how can people check out everything you've got going on?
Follow me on X, Dap6410, Wednesdays and Fridays with you on Locked on Auburn. Sunday nights, 8 p.m. live with you and Kyle Rush. We do a little Barncast action. And then, of course, these reaction shows, and I guess we're within 10 days of starting to do some more basketball lives too.
They play this week, don't they?
Yeah. Against Memphis in the exhibition, and then they open the season 1st of November. So but we'll do one after the Memphis game in Atlanta as well.
That's right. So please like the video. Please subscribe. If you're tuned in on audio, please subscribe, leave a review. Helps the show out a ton. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked on Auburn.